I'm Mackenzie Shin, and this is my lesson plan. For number 1, learning objectives, my Common Core State Standard that I've chosen for this lesson is CCSS ELA Literacy RL 7.9, and it is compare and contrast a fictional portrayal of a time, place, or character and a historical account of the same period as a means of understanding how authors of fiction use or alter history. My objective for the student learning this lesson is the student will be able to demonstrate an understanding of how Robert Peck uses or modifies historical events and characters from the Great Depression time period in his fictional work, A Year Down Yonder. Why have I chosen this objective? Because I've chosen this objective because it complies with the Common Core standards for this grade level. Also, this objective is valuable for the students because it adds to their own creative writing methods and analytical thinking skills. This objective will also be the starting point for the students to write their own narrative based on a historical event from the past. Number 2, my student grouping. How will I group the students for instruction? To start the lesson, we will be reading a story as a whole over a period of time. The students will then be divided into groups of 2, and they will work with their partners on a short activity. The groups will then present their findings to the rest of the class in whole group discussion. After, I will evaluate the students' understanding through an independent assessment. Why have I chosen to use this grouping? I've chosen to start the lesson with whole group teaching because it will be the best way to give instructions and clear up questions or concerns all the students may have. It also allows the students to brainstorm with the entire class and get a feel for the different ideas or opinions that their peers may have. I decided to break the students up into pairs of 2 so they can collaborate with their partners and have someone to bounce ideas back and forth with. I will let each group present to the rest of the class so that the other groups can get a better understanding of the material by seeing what their peers came up with. I decided to finish the lesson with an individual assessment. That way the students can show me what they've learned on an individual level. Number 3, methods and instructional strategies. What teaching methods will I use for this lesson? I've chosen to use lecture with discussion, brainstorming, partner activity, report back sessions, and independent evaluation for this lesson. We will start out with lecture with discussion so that the students can get an idea of what I'm looking for from them. We will then brainstorm about different ideas and questions that the students might come across. After, the students will get into groups with their partners so they can work collaboratively. The students will then present their findings to the rest of the class in a report back session, and we will discuss the findings as a whole after each group has presented. I will then evaluate each individual student's understanding of the content through an independent assessment. Why I've chosen these methods? Excuse me. I've chosen to start off the lecture with discussion method because it is the most efficient way to deliver information to the students, and it allows students to clear up any questions they may have about the lesson. We will then brainstorm because it will give the students a chance to plan out thoughts and get feedback from the teacher and peers. I've chosen to use partner activity because it gives the students a chance to work closely with one another and discuss different ideas they may have about their assignments. The pairs will then present their findings in a report back session to the rest of the class so that they can learn from one another instead of feeling like I'm simply feeding them information. After the report back session, we will discuss what each group has found and clear up any misconceptions the students have about the lesson. After, I will use independent evaluation because it will allow me to find out which students retained the knowledge and which students need a little more instruction.